Hi, everybody, and welcome to your first module in English 102. I'm excited to get started with you, and I like to post a kind of welcome to the module each week, so you will see one at the beginning of each module. So this time around, we are going to be discussing Module 1. That's where we'll get started. And just to give you a little bit of a walkthrough and overview, if you want to follow along with me and click on Module 1 Overview, that's great. If not, you can just listen to the video. But essentially in this module, you're going to begin your course portfolio and you're going to complete your first writing reflection. So in your reflection, you're going to consider your previous experiences with composing, maybe some things that came out of your taking English 101, either at ASU or at another place if you're coming back after a while or transferring. And then you're going to also be thinking about some of your future writing goals. And I usually write these writing goals down so that we can work with them over the course of the term so that we can hit some of those target areas that you want to grow in as they relate to the assignments that we're doing in class. So we're going to work on building our portfolio in stages throughout the class. We're going to be adding our coursework to it as you complete it. So you're going to go ahead and make it live and set it up. And it's easier to add in pieces throughout the term rather than scrambling at the very end to have everything complete. So this portfolio is really a way for you to keep track of your assignments. You can revisit them. You can use them to reflect on the progress that you made in the course. And then, of course, we'll be submitting the final portfolio at the end of the course. So if you toggle on next to the next link here, you'll notice that we have some top hat materials to cover. You're going to be completing the top hat assignments for Module 1, and that will give you the background information that you need to do your best in this class, and particularly in this module. So finally then, you're going to come across the digital portfolio description. It will give you, if you click on this link in Module 1, it'll give you the overview and the purpose of the portfolio. So here you're going to see us linking the learning goals here to the portfolio. What we're going to be doing throughout this course is we're going to practice composing in different genres and media. We're going to think about diverse audiences and purposes. And we're also going to be learning about metacognitive strategies. So reflection is a really important piece of this class, as you can see from some of the reflective assignments that we'll do. And then when you turn in some of those larger pieces, you're also asked to reflect on those. So this reflecting really helps you to transfer your knowledge to other learning situations and practice the skills so that you can expand and customize for your audience. I know many of you are maybe wondering, how does all this writing practice transfer not only to some of your other classes, but outside of class into your careers? And you'll have an opportunity to explore those ideas. Students and professionals are called on to submit, application documents, resumes, like cover letters, samples of your work, purpose statements. This is something that you'll be doing throughout your life as you apply for jobs. You've probably done it already. And so, this course can link to some of those transferable skills. And the digital portfolio will help you to create a gallery and a collection of your writing so that when you maybe go in for an interview and they ask for some of your writing or other works, you'll have a gallery to showcase that for future employers. And also, if you plan to go on to graduate school, you'd also have this portfolio that you can use to submit with your application for that. So just the timeline for our portfolio construction is that at the beginning of the course, we're going to be copying and customizing the Writer's Studio template. adding content to the home page. You're going to be creating an About Me section, and you're going to be participating in a portfolio creation discussion on Canvas, and compose a first reflection and add that to the portfolio. So some things to think about here is that when you're creating the portfolio, we want an overall cohesive look. So you want your headers to look the same. You want the same font size on all the pages. So your home page and your About Me page should match in structure and color. And you really want to think about those visual elements, kind of like if you've created a PowerPoint presentation before and there's a theme that's woven into each slide. That's what we're going for in the portfolio. So in the middle of the course, then you'll begin to add some material to the gallery section. And those are those sample pieces of your writing that we can take a look at. And then at the end of the course, you're going to compose a final reflection to add to your portfolio. You'll be revising that home page and that About Me page and adding more to your gallery. And so this is when you get to take a look at everything you've done so far, make everything line up and match, and then really turn in a solid, substantial portfolio. One thing I do want to remind you of at this stage is that when you create that portfolio, you need to give us permission to view it. So make sure to go into those settings and give us permission. Otherwise, we won't be able to see the work that you've done. Okay, so then the next step here is the Module 1 setup for your digital portfolio. And this section of Module 1 really walks you through how to set it up. There's a helpful video that you should watch if you're not familiar with setting up a portfolio. Of course, if you took the English 101 class here at ASU, then you've already had some experience with setting up the portfolio. But if you have not, or you need a refresher, this is a great place to come to figure out how to set up the template, make it your own. And there are some great videos here and some samples that you can look at. And then our first reflection writing journey begins. So here you're going to use composing strategies to invent and discover and reconsider ideas. You're going to learn some cognitive strategies for reflecting on evolving composing practices, right? So some of those transferable skills that I talked about already and how we will bring those into some other environments. So go ahead and click through that Module 1 First Reflection link where your writing journey begins, and you'll see some of the course learning goals, the habits of mind, the digital portfolio description, some sample portfolios, a writer studio portfolio guide. So this is a really helpful link for you to reflect and brainstorm. It gives you some questions and some things to consider when you're writing this first reflection. You'll be looking back and then looking forward, and you should have the time forward piece. Sometimes students make the mistake of spending a lot of time looking back and not enough time looking forward. So just keep that in mind. We want to be roughly half and half with our looking back and looking forward sections. You'll be also including some visual examples. We're working on multimodality in this class. So you will add some visual evidence, and you're going to want to take some screenshots of your previous writing. You can take some screenshots of maybe some of the feedback that you got in your professional life or in some of your previous writing assignments for school. You could take a screenshot of some of your social media posts, texts, hyperlinks to your writing if it exists somewhere on the web. You know, some people are busy on the web publishing their writing. So those kinds of things you'll be including in this reflection assignment, just to start to get used to that multimodal way of composing. So you will revise, you'll proofread, and you'll submit that to Canvas. And off you go. Make sure to take a look at the rubric so that you know what specifically will be graded for this assignment, and make sure that you use the rubric as a checklist, right? So if we looked at this first rubric, they'll see that there is a looking back section. Did you meet the requirements of that? Was that about half of your written work? Did you meet the requirements of the looking forward section? Did you make clear claims? Are they supported with evidence and explanation? Then, if you look at the next part of the rubric, you'll see that you need 1 to 2 visual examples, right? So this is a really good checklist. And you'll also notice that here it gives you a word count, right? You need about 500 words for this first reflection. So definitely make sure to take a look at that rubric and think about it, use it as a checklist, and that will solidify your success on our first reflection assignment. And that pretty much wraps up what we'll be doing for our first module. And I look forward to getting to know you a bit and looking at your first writing assignments.